Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
So, any doubts in yesterday's class? Okay. So, today we'll see dynamic routing. Yesterday we learned last 2 days static routing. See now. See, last 2 days we learned we have 10 network connected to another router which is connected to 30 network. Imagine you have one more router here and one more like this. Same way, it is connected like this, like this, like this. Now, if you see here, to reach 30 network from router 1, I have 3 paths. I can go in 3 different directions. I can go like this, I can go like this, I can also go like this. Now, which is the best path?
Second.
Which is the best path?
20.0.
20. Why is that?
Shortest path.
Shortest. How do you measure it? How many kilometers?
It is directly
Depending upon the routers, sir, we have 2 routers, right?
Yeah.
In first part.
If you take distance in terms of hop count, each router you cross, it's a hop, right? Hop count.
Yes, sir.
So if you cross, what you said is correct. If you this side, it's one router I have to cross, one hop. This side, 2 hops. This side, 3 hops. So one hop path is better if I take distance. But imagine this is a 64 kbps line. The bandwidth of this one hop path is 64 kbps. 2 hop path is 1 mbps, that is 1024 kbps. Now, which is better? Right? 1 hop extra, but it's close to 18 times faster than this. Right? So if you take bandwidth as metric, so what is this? The measure metric. What is a metric? Kilo is a metric. Liter is a metric. Hour is a metric. Right? So here, distance as metric, this is the best path. Bandwidth as metric, it might be, say for example, this is 2 Mbps. Then it is double the speed. Are you getting the point?
Yes, sir.
Imagine, right? Now, if 2 Mbps is the best path as bandwidth is concerned, imagine somewhere here, one network is connected. There are 50 hosts in that network. That means this 1 Mbps link is used by 50 hosts generally. Somewhere here, there is a network connected here and here. This has 500 hosts, this has 600 hosts, let's say. So that means about so many hosts are using this link. So 2 Mbps is best, but if I take load on the network into consideration, I have a different path. Now, looking at all these things, if I feel this is the best path, imagine this particular link keep failing all the time. There is something wrong with that link. It keeps getting disturbed. So there is no reliability. If I take a reliability of the link into consideration, again, my path might change. So to calculate the best path, so what should be your criteria? Is this or this or this or this or anything else? So if there are like something like this, a diagram like this, where there are 5 routers, I can still calculate. We can still calculate giving weightages. Okay, I'll give some percentage to this, something to this, like that. See overall which is the best path. But in an internet environment, there will be hundreds of routers, thousands of routers. So in that case, which is the best path? Right? You cannot decide it. So to overcome that, right, they came up with something called, I'll go back to this diagram later, a dynamic routing protocols. Right, dynamic routing protocols. See now, go to this diagram. See, if this is an internet environment, see, say for example, this is VSNL, this is BSNL, this is Reliance, right? This is Airtel, right? This is Tata Tele, right? So like that, if multiple service providers, right? Somewhere here Singapore Telecom, somewhere here AT&T, right? Verizon, Megapath, so many people are there. Now they all are connected at some point. So huge network. So you can't manually configure it, right? So they divided into dynamic routing protocols. Now, based on how they work means what? What this routing protocol say? I have 2 routers. Yesterday you configured static route. You go like this, you go like this. But in dynamic routing, you can have any number of routers, right? How they work? How they work means what? How they find out about their neighbors, right? How they maintain a relation with them. Obviously, they have to, 2 people are talking to each other. They have to maintain a relationship, right? How they learn routes, right? What metric they take, right? How they react, when a change takes place. So all these things, right? So how they know about each other. So for example, somebody is here, somebody, so this guy has to learn from this guy has to learn from this guy, everybody has to learn from everyone. So how they find out who are the neighbors and how they maintain a relationship with them, because it's a continuous relationship, right? And then how they learn their routes, what metric they take, right? How they react to the change, if anything goes wrong or anything comes up, how they react. So based on how they work, they divided into categorizations: distance vector protocols, link state protocols. I'll explain the difference later, few minutes later. Distance vector, there is a protocol called routing information protocol. Version 1, not many people are using these days. Version 2 is still there, people are using. Routing information protocol, then OSPF, open shortest path first. And there is another protocol which has both the qualities. That's why it's called hybrid protocol. It's more of this side. So they do call it sometimes advanced distance vector. Right? Enhanced interior gateway routing protocol. This is Cisco proprietary. Till 2015, nobody knows anything about it. Cisco only knows it. I think around that time, Cisco opened the protocol. Now anybody can use it, but generally Cisco's own protocol, so Cisco uses it. Cisco proprietary protocol. Do you understand? Cisco proprietary protocol. Any doubts? Interestingly, based on where they work, based on that categorization is based on how they work, based on where they work. That means within BSNL and within Reliance. Now these two are connected again, right? Reliance and BSNL. Then BSNL and VSNL are connected. BSNL and Airtel are connected. Now inside they have something. So inside protocols are different. Outside this protocol is different. The protocol which connects these two, it's called exterior gateway protocol. Exterior gateway protocol. If you see the word here, it says interior gateway protocol. The protocols which are inside this, these are interior gateway protocol. Interior gateway protocols, right? There is only one exterior gateway protocol, which is border gateway protocol, they call it BGP, border gateway protocol. It is in, see, the name also suggests it's between two service providers. It is in the border. So each service provider, say, let's say each cloud is a service provider. If you assume each service provider, it's called an autonomous system. Autonomous system. Autonomous system. Some of you would have studied autonomous universities, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, JNTU Kakinada is an autonomous university. Most of your engineering colleges fall under that category. Right? Autonomous means under one administration. All the colleges, 250, 275 colleges, engineering colleges in that area, they all come under that autonomous unit of JNTU College of Engineering Kakinada. That's autonomous university now. So that means they maintain their funds, everything is there, their administration, their vice chancellor, everything for them, autonomous. Independent administrative unit. Similarly, it is administrative. Each administrative unit is an autonomous system. Between two autonomous systems, you need BGP. Within the autonomous system, you need interior gateway protocols. Within the autonomous system, you need interior gateway protocols. So these are interior gateway protocols. All these are interior gateway protocols. This one, this one, this one are interior gateway protocols. They work within the autonomous system. So they asked me to teach you, I think, RIP and OSPF, these two protocols. I don't think EIGRP is there, but whatever they ask, I'll teach that. That's a different thing. But BGP is very high level. You can understand that between service providers with big setups only, they use that, right? So that's your post-graduation level. Now you are doing graduation. You don't touch BGP at graduate level, right? So yeah, so that's about two categorizations. How they work comes these things, right? How they know about the knife, see, common sense. How you know about other person, how you exchange information, what is the criteria for exchanging information, what is the criteria for maintaining a relationship, right? What information you exchange when something goes wrong, how do you deal with it? So if you can answer these questions, you know the protocol very well. Any dynamic routing protocol, if you claim that I know RIP, I know OSPF, I know BGP, then you should be able to answer these questions. You should be able to troubleshoot that. Super. Right? So first things first, any doubts? So I'll teach you what is the difference between these two protocols, distance vector and link state, because we are learning these protocols. Now, so let's take an example. Let's say this is 10 network. Let's say 20, 30, 40. Let's say this 40 network, something, just for fun. Now you have R1, R2, R3. Now R1's routing table, whatever directly connected will be there. If there is 10, there is 10, there is 20. Now how it learns about 40? Right? How far is 40? Right? If you want to go to 40, I have to cross two routers. Distance. RIP takes hop count. How many hops? 2 hops. That's what distance. What is vector? Vector calculus you studied? No? Mathematics, first year engineering, you still got to study vector calculus. Magnitude and direction. Calculus is the application of a lot of physics actually. But anyway, magnitude and direction, right? What direction? Vector is direction. Direction is here not your east-west. If you go via serial 0, right? If you go via serial 0, after crossing 2 routers, you reach that network, isn't it?
Yes,
Right?
sir.
So RIP takes hop count. RIP takes hop count into consideration. Link state protocols, OSPF. There is another link state protocol, just for mentioning if you want to, which is ISIS, intermediate system. ISIS. This is one protocol. There's another one is ISIS. These protocols, they take bandwidth. Sorry, they take bandwidth. Yeah, they take bandwidth. They take bandwidth. That's the main difference. One takes distance, one takes bandwidth. That's the main difference. Other metrics, some protocols will take combination metrics. So there is a delay can be taken as a metric. Delay is how many microseconds it takes to go to the other guy. Two-way delay means you go and come back. One-way delay means going there. A delay takes delay. Reliability. Reliability. How reliable it is. Are you understanding? What is the load on the network? Reliability is generally, 255 is it's right. 1 to 255 type. 255 is full reliable. Anything below that is not reliable. Load is like 1 by 255 means no load. Then the load increases, this changes. So that's how the measures will be. But these are dynamic values because load increases, decreases. This is so that's why most of the people don't actually consider it, because if you consider it, what happens? Dynamically, your paths will be changing. Suddenly one link increases, then path will change, it decreases, path will change. So generally people don't consider it. Delay, reliability, load. You can also consider MTU, that is maximum transmission unit. If you have done the labs last 2-3 days, whatever I taught you, if you ever sat on the simulator and if you did the labs or something, then you would have seen that if you say show interface, these values will be shown there. MTU I showed you, bandwidth I showed you, 11544, Ethernet, serial, all bandwidths I showed you. MTU also I showed you, 1500, yesterday I mentioned about it, maximum transmission unit. So same place, you will see delay, reliability and all those things. But otherwise, the main difference, this is distance. This doesn't take distance. That's the main difference. First difference. The second difference, how this guy learns about the other routes. What type of relationship they made. Here, there is no relationship. No relationship. Right? Simply routing information is broadcasted to neighbors, others. Simply routing information is broadcasted. That's it. I don't maintain any relationship. I keep sending it. Every 30 seconds, it's routing table, routing information. It'll simply send it to the others. So this guy will tell him, hey, I have these networks. I have these networks. I have these networks. I have these networks. No relationship whatsoever is maintained. Just push your information to the others. That's why it's called routing by rumor. Routing by rumor. Rumors, they call it, right? You suddenly say, hey, our next building, somebody got a COVID. Then you tell the next guy, hey, the whole family got a COVID, man. You tell the next guy, do you know that whole building got COVID? And people start believing it. And within no time, right? So people will kill people also. Right? Rumors. So it's like a rumor. You just tell, you take it. You don't question, you don't ask, you don't know the authenticity, whether it is correct or wrong. You just learn it. Whereas here, this is end-to-end. This is different. It maintains a relationship. How I'll tell you exactly. It maintains a relationship. Right? One interesting thing, I'll tell you an example. So this, for example, you're living in. See, some of you, I think, couple of girls came to Bangalore in search of your life, isn't it? For jobs and all. One did a CCNA, one came, I think, she was looking for a job and something like that.
Yes, sir.
So when you are here, imagine your mother called you. Okay, just for fun. Okay, nothing serious about it. So mom's call, right? What did they ask when mom calls? Did you eat?
Tinnawa.
Yeah, did you eat? That's the first question, right? You know, my daughter every day. My daughter is in US. She's stuck in US. She's first year engineering. She finished. Ask, what did you eat? Food, dad. They eat food. What else you eat other than food? So irritated when we ask that question, right? What do you eat? Did you eat? So that's funny. But anyway, see now, right? Your mom called. Imagine your mom called, right? She said, okay, now did you eat? Then, like, she said, hey, you know, your uncle is fine. You know, your uncle's next house, somebody got this, so he's fine. Your father is fine. Your brother is fine. Your sister is fine. Your grandmother is fine. Your grandfather is fine. Your niece is fine. Right? Imagine she read the whole family tree. Suddenly, after half an hour, your mom calls and, you know, says, hey, do you know this grandfather is fine? You know, yeah. Again, she started saying that this person is fine, that person is fine, this is fine, everything is fine. Imagine every day your mom calls and reads your whole family tree. How it will be? If they ask about food only, you're irritated, right? But you know, that's like RIP. RIP calling you and saying every 30 seconds, hey, I have these networks. But your mom calls every day and she says, okay, what she should say? Hey, everybody's fine here. How are you? Did you eat? Isn't it? Right? So that's like link state protocols. If your mom is reading your entire family tree every day, that is distance vector protocol. Your mom calls and says, hey, everything is fine here. What about you? Suddenly she called in between after half an hour back. She called and suddenly called me. Something happened. Maybe a new baby is born in the family or somebody got a COVID. There is a change in the state of the link. That's why it's called link state protocols. Right? You know, first they maintain a relationship. Once you learn everything, first you have to learn anyway. You have to know about the topology, everything. Then only you maintain a relationship. Hello, right? Hey, what is there in hello? I'll tell you. But hey, hello, everything is fine. Only when there is a change, I'll inform you. Otherwise, you keep sending hello, how are you? All well, right? So here there is no relationship. It's like your mom calling you every half an hour and telling you about your family. Here, yeah, your mom calls even frequently, but says, hey, be safe, everything is fine. Right? So here, your mom wastes the phone bill. Your whole bandwidth is occupied every 30 seconds by this guy. Here it doesn't much. Right? So basically, these are old protocols, these are new protocols. They improvised on these things. That's how it is. Is that clear? How exactly it works, we will learn it. That's a different story. We are trying to understand the main difference between these two protocols. One takes distance, another doesn't take distance. Right? One, right, doesn't bother about others, just simply sends the information. Another one maintains a relationship once in very few, you know, how many seconds I'll tell you. Sends a hello packet. Hello, how are you? Everything is fine. When there is a change, hey, this is not newly added and all that. That's how these things work. Systems will behave like human beings. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. The third difference is, and again, all this boys and girls, you remember when you are at home, right? We don't bother about mothers, but at some point, right, you will long for it. You want somebody to ask you, did you eat? Once you get into your life. Once you're busy with your life, nobody will ask you, who did you eat? Then you wanted it. Take my word. So start respecting now itself. Now, coming back to the third point, imagine you wanted to go from one place to another place, right? So this can anyone recognize these diagrams here on the screen?
Right side is Chennai railway station.
Chennai Central, yeah. I think they changed the name now, right? Something, I don't know. Last month they changed the names. This is Chennai Central, and this one?
Mysore Palace, I think so.
This is Bangalore Vidhan Sauda. Right, just for fun, because I teach people in Bangalore, so I took it. I did not realize, otherwise I would have taken your assembly from Hyderabad. So now if you see, this is Bangalore Vidhan Sauda, that is Bangalore Assembly Ways. So imagine somebody wants to drive from here to here, Bangalore to Chennai, wants to drive in a car. This is the first time he's driving. Okay. Or imagine your Hyderabad, public gardens to, so Vijayawada, somebody wants to drive. Right? Which road he should take? How do you know? Right? How do you know which road he should take? How do you know? If you want to drive from one place to another place. Now, if you have to drive today,
We'll check the shortest distance, or we'll check the shortest distance, or we will check that road should be good. One road should be good.
where do you check? How do you know?
Less number of kilometers.
No. Which road you take? Which road you have to go? Which direction you have to take? That
We'll check the boards.
Flyover and all that. You check the boards and go. You stand at the public gardens and you look around and see, hey, which way to Vijayawada? How do you go? Now you have to drive now. What will you do?
Google Maps.
Google Maps. Why you guys are not saying Google Maps?
Google Maps.
Your generation is not using Google Maps. I'm surprised. Right? You have to use Google Maps. But 20 years back, if I have to drive, there's no Google.
We
So
need to ask for.
we would have asked for somebody. Somebody would have asked. Would have said, hey, you go like this. You can go to, right? Vijayawada, right? That road, right? He has to say, hey, you go to that, whatever, LB Nagar Road or Dilshuk Nagar Road. Here, this is the road. You go. So somewhere here, you'll get some koti or, abits or something. Then you go, something else will come. So you go, something else will come, right? Then Kodada or whatever it is. Somebody has to tell me. So now when I started, so I want to go to Vijayawada for sure. But after going I'll be looking for, did I reach LB Nagar? Or did I reach Dilshuk Nagar? I don't look for Vijayawada board. After going here, I'll see, did I reach Kodada or Suryapet? Right? I'll be looking for those boards, not for the destination. After going to Kodada or Suryapet, I'll ask somebody, hey, how do I go to Vijayawada? Imagine this guy had a fight with his wife or something, and he told, hey, you go like this. Then I'll end up going like this. Then after some time, I realized somebody will tell me here, hey, you have to go back, man. So that was our life, 15, 20 kilometers, you go and find out that this is not the correct path. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Right? That's what we used to do those days. Right? In US kind of countries, if you miss a leg, if you miss one turn, you're gone, because those highways are like that. You can't enter. You have to go some 35, 40 miles before you actually get a cut and take a U-turn somewhere else. That's pretty interesting places there. So infrastructure is like that. So that's what our life was. Right? Now you don't have that. It will tell you, hey, go this way. This is Google Maps will tell you this is the path. But Google Maps doesn't stop there. It will tell you, hey, you can go like this also. Join somewhere here. That will also tell you you can go like this also. It also tells this is a 4-lane road, this is a 2-lane road, or a single road, this is a 2-lane road. Right? That also tells you so many trucks per hour. There is some congestion here. There is some congestion here. There is some congestion out of all these things. There is an accident. Whatever you want, it will tell you. And you decide the best. That is the difference between these two protocols. Here, routing by rumor, whatever LB Nagar guy tells, I'll follow that. Whatever Kodada guy tells, I'll follow that. Here, no, you don't listen to anyone. You don't need anyone. Somebody already gave you the entire topology. Here, only the adjacent router. Here, you know only the next guy. Here, you know the entire topology. And then decide which is the best one. So all qualities, it looks, these are great. But when you have two lines, you'll know which line is bigger. So this was an old line. This is a new line. Initially, they developed RIP. Then they moved on to this. Okay. Go through it a couple of minutes and ask me if you have any doubts. Meanwhile, I'll get some water. Any doubts? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. So now we'll see how exactly distance vector. Today, I'm not teaching you this one. We will see this one. Exactly how this distance vector works. Okay. So see here. Imagine you have this setup. Okay. This is your fast Ethernet 0. This is your serial 0. Serial 0. Serial 1. Let's say serial 0. Fast Ethernet 0. Right. Let's say this is 10.0.0.1. This is 20.0.0.1. So you can take any IP address by this time, right? 30.0.0.1, 30.0.0.2, 40.0.0.1, right? Are you understanding? Right. Now, if you see, if somebody gives you like this, you know, right? When directly connected, what is this? C stands for directly connected, isn't it?
Connect.
Yeah, if you want to go to 10 network, so it is connected to me via fast Ethernet 0. I want to go to 20 network, it is
Serial.
connected to me via serial 0. Right? 20 network, serial 0.
Serial 0.
30 network,
Serial 1.
30 network, serial 0.
0.
40 network,
40.
fast.
Fast. Ethernet.
Right? Yeah. Now, if somebody gives you like this, can you give static routing to make everything work? Do you know how to give static routing to make everything work?
Yes.
Right? Do it as an exercise. I showed you 2 routers, third router, one more. So you draw this diagram, evening, you do this as an exercise. In fact, you can increase. You put probably one more router and then try to give static routes. See, nobody needs to give you a problem. You just have to use your pen and paper. Right? Try the static routing. If you don't get it, ask me next class. So now, right, directly connected means how many hops? How many hops if it is directly connected?
One.
Right?
2.
2, 1. How far is Vedkant's home from Kamareddy? Yeah? Or if you are in class, you will know how far is Vedkant's home from Kamareddy.
Sir, I'm in Kamareddy only. Why will
So this 10 network is connected to this router only. Why is 1 hop, 2 hops? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
This router to go to 10 network, do I need to cross any router?
No.
No, directly connected means what? You understand now?
Yes, sir.
Excitement kills, not only in driving. So we know we give wrong answers. That's the beauty of life. Now, if you see here, okay, we configured RIP, let's say. I configured RIP here. How to configure? We'll see that. I configured RIP here. Configured RIP. Now, what we learned, RIP tells every 30 seconds, the next guy, hey, I have these networks. Imagine this guy told them, right? RIP. Yesterday, static routing was yes, right? S means static. Now it is RIP, R. So now this guy told him R. What he told him, hey, I have 10 network. Distance, vector, direction. What direction I received? Serial 0. Very good. I received. He told me. He said, I have 10 network. Now, how many hops it is? If I want to go to 10 network. Right? How many hops? If this router 2, let's say this is, you don't have names here. We'll put names. We will put names. This is R1. This is R2. This is R3. Okay. If R2 wants to go to 10 network, how many hops it is?
One.
Right? Interesting thing. See, interesting. When you ask a question, when somebody asks a question, even though we know it, we have when we are not clear, when you have a doubt or a vague question, sometimes we prefer not to answer it, thinking that if I give a wrong answer, what the other person will think. So what the hell? But what difference does it make? Right? You know, yesterday, I'll tell you, my level also, for me, but yesterday night, my friend sent me some screenshots of his stock market trading something. He traded something. He said, hey, what do you interpret from it? He wants to see whether I can understand or not. He's a senior in that field. He's a senior to me. Like he wants me to check, he wants to check whether I'm actually doing the right thing or whether I'm understanding or not, because he's in that industry for quite a long time. My classmate in engineering. Now, when he asked me, he's like a teacher to me, right? Now, well, oh, if I give a wrong answer, what happens now, right? I'm intimidated by the situation, actually. So when I ask a question also, you are in that situation. What the hell, who cares, right? Whatever we feel, if you tell, if it is wrong, there is a teacher to correct it. If it is right, teacher will appreciate it. If you keep quiet, neither correction will happen nor appreciation will happen. But for me, it took a couple of minutes again. See, every day I tell my students, but for me, still took a couple of minutes to tell my point of view, because you are always intimidated when somebody knowledgeable than you asks a question. When I ask a question, that's the same thing for you. Because I know the answer, you don't know the answer, I'm asking a question. Even if you know, you don't want to take a risk. Or when I say that, okay, excitement kills, then you're okay. And last time I gave the wrong answer, now should I give the new answer? So I'm not talking about today's class. I'm talking about the entire life is like that. For me also like that. But the sooner we realize, what's the big deal? We give a wrong answer, somebody's there to correct it. If we give a correct answer, somebody's there to appreciate it. If he doesn't appreciate it, it's fine. I still know that I'm correct. That is when we start learning these things. Okay. Why I gave this kind of a prologue now is, I want you to think seriously, look at the diagram and think, what I think Kavita or Mamata told me, this is one hop, that is correct. That answer is correct. But that one, will the router 2 should take the decision or router 1 should tell them? That's the situation there. That one hop away distance is correct answer. The answer is correct. This is one hop. Perfectly correct. You are right. Your answer is right. But my question is not the answer here. My question is, should this guy tell me? Should this guy tell me? Or, right? I will only take a call on that. Can you tell me that? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Right? So imagine you have a router here. Right? You have a router here. And actually 10 is somewhere here, not here. So in that case, who will tell me? Right? If this guy tells, how will I know whether it is one router or 3 routers or 4 routers? I don't know. Isn't it? So he has, the mechanism should be, if he tells him as 1, he can tell him as 2, he can tell him as 3. Right? Are you understanding? There should be two ways to do it. Whatever he tells, I can take it direct. Or whatever he tells, I can add 1 and take it. Right? So what happens is, I will now routing by rumor. You have to go back. This guy doesn't know anything. Whatever he tells only, he'll take it. So what he tells, whatever is there for me, I will add +1 and tell the next guy, because I have to add myself. For me, 0. For him, 1. So I'll say, hey, 10 is 1 hop. For you. So I don't calculate. I receive. That's why routing by rumor. You understand now? So now when he tells the next guy, he will add +1 and tell. What he will tell? 10 network is 2 hops away, then he will check the routing table. Do I have 10 here? No. So RIP is telling me 10 network via serial 0, 2 hops. So I don't question it. I'll take it. I gave the beautiful example here, isn't it? When you're traveling, you don't question. You just go and take. If he tells go like this, you go like that. That's how RIP works. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So what happens now? Imagine. Now this guy tells him about 20. Now 20 I don't have. I already have it. If he says 20 as 1 hop, then I don't need to take it, isn't it? So then he will tell him as 20 I don't have it, so I'll take it. 20 as serial 0, 1 hop. Then when he tells him 40, rest of the networks I already have with the better. See, he can tell 30 if he tells 30, I already have it, right? 10, I already have it. Right? Imagine this. 40 via serial 1 hop. Then it comes here 30 via serial 0, 1 hop. 40 via serial 0, 2 hops. So first router 10 is 20. Sorry, 10 is 0, 20 is 0. Second router 20, 30 is 0. Third router 30, 40 is 0. First router 30 is 1 this side, 40 is 2 this side. Middle router 10 is this side, 40 is this side. So it is simply, I represented the diagram. They learn it like that. Within no time, they will learn it. Do you understand? Because each one will inform the other one every 30 seconds. Now, as long as there is no problem actually. There is no issue as long as there is no problem. Every 30 seconds, same story. But imagine, any doubts? So, I told you about dynamic routing protocols. What metric they take? They take hop count. How they know about their neighbors? Here they don't know anything. They just push it. Are you understanding how frequently they do it? Every 30 seconds they do it. Now, the last point. Is there any relationship they maintain? No, just push it every 30 seconds. Last point. If anything goes wrong, how they react? Yeah, then we are about to ask something?
No, sir.
No? Thank you. Right? Anything goes wrong, how it works? Right? Imagine something went wrong here. This link is down. This fast Ethernet 0 is down. How can it go wrong? It can be anything. A rat has bitten my cable. Possible. Cable is loose. Something happened. Port is corrupted. Something happened. Now what happens now? At that point of time, 40 is gone for this router. Right? First thing that happens is when this link is down, I will lose my 40 because I'm not connected to 40 anymore. I'm not connected to 40 anymore. Right? So now what happened now? I lost 40. I have to tell this guy, hey, I lost 40. I have to tell this router, I lost 40. Do you understand? I have to tell this router, I lost 40, isn't it? But how am I telling? Every 30 seconds I'm sending. Imagine this happened at some 25th second. So I'm going to tell them every 30 seconds. It happened at 25th second. I'm going to tell them every 30 seconds. So another 5 seconds pending. Okay, let me wait for 5 seconds. Now imagine this guy is also sending me every 30 seconds. Yes or no? So his broadcast is due after 1 second. So after 5 seconds, this guy is going to tell him, I lost 40. But this has only 1 second time left. Imagine in my routing table, I already have 40. Then I told him 40 is 1 plus 1, 2 hops away. Can you visualize the situation?
Sir, can you repeat this again?
It's there on the screen. 40 is gone on router 3. Router 3 has to tell router 2 that 40 is down. But router 3 or router 2, everyone tells every 30 seconds they send the information, let's assume. That's what we learned, right? Every 30 seconds. That you know?
Yes, sir.
So every 30 seconds. Now when the network is down, I have another 5 seconds time to tell the next guy. Is that fine? But router
Yes.
2 has only 1 second time left. So that means 4 seconds before router 3 tells router 2, router 2 told router 3 that, hey, I have 40 network with me because he has 40 in his routing table. That's an interesting situation, isn't it? If at all you have a confusion, do you know why you have that confusion? There is, you here think like human being. Very interesting. From the beginning of this training, I've been telling systems will behave like human beings, but here that thinking can create an issue. So what is the difference here? Systems will 100% behave like human beings, but textbook human beings. The only difference here is memory. Human being has a retainable memory. Human being has a retainable memory. Machine has an erasable memory. Right? Isn't it? See, I know, from the first day when I asked, because Vedkant said that, I know Vedkant lives in Kamareddy. Opposite to his house is railway station. Right? Nice birds will be chirping next to him. I know then we want to become a painter, right? Artist, or Rachna want to become an artist, or Kavita wants to learn everything possible. Because I try to, my memory is telling me these are the things. Mamata wants to do this. Right? I still haven't seen two guys' faces. Right? So all these things, my memory is telling me I remember things. Human being remembers things. But imagine human being forgets things. Erasable memory. The machines have it. Have you seen any movies on erasable memory? On erasable memory concept. Have you ever seen any movie? You guys watch movies?
Yes, sir.
Imagine if you have an erasable memory, how beautiful the life will be, isn't it?
Yeah, sir.
Whatever makes you unhappy, just erase it. You have a problem with your boyfriend or girlfriend, erase and start fresh again in 5 minutes time. Sushant wouldn't have been dead if he has an erasable memory, isn't it? Right? Number of suicides are more than COVID deaths. We can save all of them if we can erase what is troubling them, isn't it? You see the statistics, suicides are more than these COVID deaths. We can erase their memory. We can make them live. Actually, it's a serious topic. Do you know your future generations, probably 50, 60 years down the line, if scientific research goes well, probably 2048 or so, probably you guys will see it. Maybe we will not be there. Actually, people can erase their memories. They're working on it. Memory locations, if they can, the logic is that if they can identify the memory location and then they kill that cell, you can erase what troubling people, because the future is that all the psychological issues and all that, because machines and all will take over, right? So people, if you have to live happily, then they have to erase their memories. Whatever is troubling you, whatever is creating a problem, whatever is making you unhappy, you just throw it out and live happily. Right? Today you have a fight with your boss, and then in 5 minutes you go out and go to some VLCC type of clinic and ask them 5 o'clock to 5:15, whatever happened in my memory, you erase it next day morning, go and argue your boss. How beautiful the life is going to be, isn't it? Machines are like that. But you still did not tell me any good movie on erasable memory. Eh? If you are a movie, I can't believe Telugu people not watching movies, the only entertainment in life.
Gajini.
Gajini, yeah. Gajini is not an erasable memory.
No.
Gajini is an
Memory
accident.
loss.
Short-term amnesia.
పడి పడి లేచే మనసు.
It's Smart Shankar.
Wow. Smart Shankar. Smart Shankar is a nice English movie that stupid guy he borrows it beautifully. I love Puri Jagannath. He borrows ideas so beautifully and he Indianizes them good.
So it's an English movie actually.
Yeah. In fact, his biggest hit, Amma Nanna Tamilamma, is a beautiful English movie. Dance with Me or something like that. Dance. That's a beautiful movie actually. Anyway. Simple Men in Black is an erasable memory, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right. Rest of the movies you are telling is all because of accident and all that. I think Padipadileche Mansu, they have a concept, I think. I haven't seen it fully. But there is a beautiful English. I'm not promoting movies, okay? Don't think that I'm a movie distributor here. There's one, Kate Winslet and Jim Carrey. Beautiful movies. Let me recollect. Let me test my memory, okay? Sunshine. What is that? I'll tell you. There's a big line in that name. Some sunshine will come. I'll tell you before the end of the class. I think I'm also becoming old now. My memory is fading up. It's 1980s movie. So in that movie, actually, what happened? Why I'm telling that is, in that movie, whatever the concept they actually portrayed it. See, 20, 30 years back, that director imagined that, and then that is going to happen now. Actually, so that's the beauty of these people. They do research. They figure out the direction and they do it scientifically, not just like the Smart Shankar original. Also, it's like that. So they do the research how you can replace your chip into your brain and all that. That's a concept going on now to replace your memory and all that. Anyway, right? Now if anything like that comes, my brain stops working and started thinking about that. I'll come back. So I think Jim Carrey's movie, beautiful son. Okay, I'll come back. So anyway, now you understood the concept, right? So my memory is erased here. This guy told me that 40 network via serial 0, 2 hops away, it is actually a false route. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That is a movie's name. So now I'm free. My brain released now. Otherwise, one part of my brain is continuously working on that particular thing. You all must be facing that situation, right? When you forget something. So yeah, I'm clear now. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. So now if you see here, if it learns, right? See, it learned a wrong route, false route. Actually, 40 is with me. 40, he doesn't know. So why I got the wrong route? Because my memory issue. Now, what happens after this now? What happens interestingly? Now I learned a new route. After 30 seconds, now I learned a new route now. This is learned from this side. After 30 seconds, if I tell this guy, 40 is 2 plus 1, 3 hops away, let's say. Imagine. Now what he thinks, from S1 direction, I learned it as 1 hop. Now S1 is telling me 3 hops. Then he will tell him as 4 hops. Then he will tell him as 5 hops. It will be a monotonically increasing number now. It's like a gossip. You tell that, hey, that guy got a COVID, and then you say, you know that both family, everybody got COVID, and then whole building got COVID, and 3 people died by evening. Gossip. Right? Everybody will tell the other person. You understand? Adding some salt and pepper to that. Because this is where the confusion comes. Because I have an erasable memory, if I learn a wrong route, that route I will add +1 and tell the next guy, but he earlier learned from me via S1. Then he thinks that, okay, so that means what? Mohan told you yesterday something. Today Mohan said, sorry, I did a mistake. It's not eternal sunshine of spotless mind. It is something else. Then what option you have? Because that one also I only told, this one also I'm only telling. You understand the logic there? Right? So you have to learn the new one, the new one. So this is called, right, routing to infinity, or counting to infinity. Counting to infinity. Why? Because everybody adding +1, it can go up to infinity. Right? That is what testing is. If some of you, after learning this course or for whatever reasons, if you get into a testing type of career, when you test protocols, when you do these things, so that's what you do. When something goes wrong, when you pull a cable, of course, there is an automation coming in and all that, but the manual requirement is also will be there. You literally pull the cable and see what exactly happens. If you join Cisco, your company is developing a new protocol or something, how it reacts. If you want to know, that's how you test. So when they tested this, they faced this problem. See, this is an old protocol, okay, very old protocol. It's almost gone. It has second version is there, but I'm teaching you so that you can build. I mean, they probably the people they asked me to teach you because they want you to build the logic properly to the next level. Are you understanding? So this is counting to infinity. It can go up to infinity. So I have to stop it. Otherwise, what happens because of this counting to infinity? Routing loops will take place. Routing loops will take place. What do you mean by routing loop? So this, if any, say for example, this guy wants to go to 10 network, sorry, 40 network. So what happens? He'll come to the router, gateway. Gateway will say 40 network is with the serial 0, 4 hops. It will come here, let's say. Then he will see 40 network with S1. Then he will see 40 network with S0. Then he will send it to S1. He will send it to S0. He will send it to S1. He will send it to S0. Because between two routers, the route is pointing towards each other. Routing loop. Imagine on a busy day, right? When on a normal working day, are you understanding? Right? In a high-tech city road or somewhere, you tell them the traffic to go to the next junction and come back and go. So if they're taking only loops here, then what happens? The road will be blocked, and the next road, within 5 minutes, your whole Hyderabad will be blocked. Because if this road is also blocked, then it takes only 10-15 minutes. By the time Banjara Hills and Khairtabad will be choked up. If you stop somewhere in high-tech city, that's possible. Right? If it happens near Google or something, whole internet might collapse. I'm just telling you an example. So this should not happen. Then what they came up with, right? So human being, very interestingly, human being has an interesting problem solving approach. Right? Human being always has an interesting problem solving approach. First, when things go wrong, right? Immediately what you need to do? You react to the situation. Then let's sit and see what is the root of the problem. Immediately you don't go to the root of the problem. You don't say, for example, right? You understand? If you, I mean, this is the wrong time to give that example, but imagine you got fever in a normal day, right? Now people will get stressed up, but you got fever in a normal day, not before pre-COVID situation. Now today, if you get a fever, first day only people want to get checked. Doctors are saying, boss, wait for 3-4 days or 5 days, right? So in a normal day, in a pre-COVID situation, if you get a fever, you go to hospital, they should give you paracetamol and say, hey, wait, let's see, it should go down. If 3-4 days later, if it is not going down, then you ask doctor, hey, do some test, man, some malaria or something, or typhoid, or first day only doctor says, hey, season changing, you might get dengue or something, get the test done, 1,000-2,000 rupees test. You say, this guy wants commission, that's why he's doing it. First day, doctor should not test. You should give that incubation period time, 3 to 5 days later, whether it is COVID or any fever. So because body reacts to fever for 100 different things. Body's reaction of telling you that there is an infection in the body is fever. It need not be for COVID. It need not be for malaria. It need not be for dengue. Anything you get hurt also. You get a big hurt also. Your body will react with the fever. Right. So immediately you don't know the root of the problem. You just put some paracetamol or something so that it stays there. Right. That's how the reactions are. So now there is a routing loop is happening. Then how do I handle it? Right. What they did is, I'll write it here so that it will be a little clean for you. First thing they fixed as a maximum hop count. I keep shuffling between these two pages. Maximum hop count. See, that's the same diagram here also with a little bigger setup. So maximum hop count. They said RIP, the maximum allowed hops are 16. What does that mean? They said up to 15 it is okay. So false route also, it's okay to some extent. Okay, this became 15 at some point. Now 15, when he adds 15 plus 1, then it will become 16. So what this guy has to tell him, whoever gets a 15, it's fine. Whoever is sending next guy, he will tell this is inaccessible because it is 16 hops. It is not accessible to you. So RIP works up to 15. Is it a solution? No, it's temporarily giving paracetamol 3 days. Okay, wait. Let the body tell you whether it is fever because of this or because of that. So let us stop this. Let's not allow it to go to infinity. Let's stop. Okay, now 3 days over. Now we have to do investigation. Why? So now I stopped it at 16. Now why it happened? Why it happened? Because when anything goes wrong, this guy is telling me something is down, but why he should tell? See, he learned from this guy only. Why should he tell? Tomorrow if Vedakant comes and start teaching me IP address and subnetting, how it will be? He may become an expert in that, but still I taught him. When I teach you, you teach somebody else, not me, right? Same subject. You can teach something else, maybe some other skill, right? Then we can teach me painting or art or something, but not IP address and subnet mask or RIP protocol. So when you teach someone, you teach somebody else, not reverse. Then it comes only that gossip will start. You tell somebody, you send it to the next guy, not to you again. So this whole problem started because this guy started telling him back. So if I stop it, and it's also happened because this guy waited for 5 seconds. Instead of waiting 5 seconds, if he tells immediately, right? So they added those qualities. Initially, they were not there. They faced this problem. Then they added these qualities, right? So one is split horizon, they call it. Split horizon means don't send the information back to the same guy. When you learn it, you send it to the next guy. Reverse is not allowed. That is split horizon. That means in this scenario, if you see now, in this scenario, right? I'll freshly write this screen, okay? I'll erase everything. So this guy knows 10 and 20, right? 20, 30, 30, 40, right? So when he tells him, right? He tells him 10 network is 1 hop, right? He tells him 30 network is 1 hop, 20 network is 1 hop. He tells him 40 network is 1 hop. Because 10 is here, 10 will go only like this. Then he tells him 10 network is 2 hops. Then he tells this side 10 network is 3 hops, 30 network is 1 hop, and 20 network is 2 hops. Then he tells this side 30 is 1 hop, 40 is 2 hops. Then he tells this side 20 is 1 hop, 30 is 2 hops, 40 is 3 hops. That means what? Right? He learns 30 and 40, but he will not send reverse. He will send only in this direction. He learns uh, 10 and 40, but 10 he will send like this, 40 he will send like this. He will learns 20 and 10. He will only send it like this. 30 will only go like this. 40 will go like this. 30 will go like this. 20 will go like this. 10 will go like this. So here, 10 is the only one which goes all like this. Here, 40 is the only one which comes like this. Split horizon. Don't send in the same direction. So now there is, when this network goes down, there is no way he can send it to this side. So that loop can be avoided. So once they found this split horizon, they felt very happy. They solved the problem. But life is not simple, right? Within 2 minutes, they realized that, boss, it will not work in a meshed topology. If it is a mesh like this, by the way, any doubts with this logic, split horizon? It makes sense, isn't it? It should go in only one direction. Not the movie band One Direction, okay? You guys know that? You guys are into music?
Yes, sir. Sir, they're not movie band. They're
I mean, music
music.
band.
Music
That's
band.
what. Okay, you can excuse my English mistakes. Music band.
No, sir. I was just kidding.
Yeah, who is the girl who is pregnant now? She showed the first bump last week. One of the singer's wife.
I don't know the names. I only know the songs.
Yeah. I also don't know. Yesterday, my son was telling me he's 16. I was reading some news and then I told her, who is this lady showing her, that baby bump? Then she said, hey, Dad, you know One Direction, that guy's daughter. So yesterday he was telling that guy's wife. I'm very poor at those names. I can't remember. I mean, I'm not into music though. My kids think that, I'm an uneducated village guy. Who doesn't know music? Right? Well, our music died with rest. What is that? Michael Jackson. So anyway, we only know Michael Jackson, nobody else. So if you see here, in a mesh topology, right? Mesh topology, imagine this network is down. He told him, he's not supposed to tell him back, correct? Split horizon says, don't tell him back. But he can tell this guy, he can tell this guy, he can tell this guy. Right? I teach Vedkant, Vedkant teaches Sai Charan teaches Mamta, Mamta teaches Kavita. Kavita can teach me because Kavita never learned from me. But actually what I taught, that is. A lot of times it happens. See, I give some examples in the classroom. By this time, you should have realized I keep talking nonsense in the classroom to give you normal examples, which you can relate, you can correlate. So sometimes some examples I give, and suddenly I'll go to a corporate environment. So somebody calls me, hey, Mohan, can you come once? We have a training or we have a project or something. I'll go there. They will be explaining me, hey, we need this, Mohan. Like this works like this, right? Then actually he will give me an example which I would have started it in my class somewhere 10 years back. So it takes a full circle, comes back to me after 5 years or 10 years. The example which I have patent, because I was the one who would have started that example. Say today, for example, when I teach you, right, your mother calling you or something, probably those kind of some examples I would have borrowed from somewhere or something like that, right? So I borrow somebody's example if it is good. I give my own example if it is fine. Because Indian students, I have to modify that. You have to make sure you understand these things because all American authors would have written the books. Are you understand? So it can come full circle. It can come all the way. He will not tell him, but it can come all the way back to this guy. Wow. Again, same problem again. Again, counting to infinity. Again, loops. How do I avoid it? Then they said, okay, right? It should not come back to this guy. So what happens now? They said that split horizon is not solving it. Then what to solve? They said, if he only tells this guy also, everyone, if he only tells, that means split horizon, right? This should not work in case of something goes wrong. Split horizon should work when all is well, right? When something goes wrong, they said you trigger the update, triggered update. That means immediately you triggered the update. What do you trigger? Route poisoning. What do you mean by poisoning? You spoil it. How do you spoil it? You make the hop count 16. That means, see this all of you. When this network goes down, situation is what? One network is down. I have a mesh. One network is down. If I tell this guy, this can come like this to me again, not to come, I will not wait for those 5 seconds, 3 seconds time. I'll immediately trigger it. I'll immediately trigger to this guy also. That is called poison reverse. Why it is called poison reverse? Right? Because I'll poison the route. If this is, let's say, 50 network, I'll say 50 network is 16 hops, 50 network is 16 hops. Because I will poison it by making the hop count 16, that means something is wrong. And I will not wait for the time I trigger it immediately. I will also send in reverse direction, that is opposite of split horizon. This is opposite of split horizon. But I will do this opposite of split horizon only when something goes wrong. Normally, split horizon. If anything goes wrong, that means basically me telling, hey, this is down, this is down, this is down, this is down. All directions, I'll only start shouting, it's down, down, down. So nobody will tell me back again. Does that make sense? Any doubts? Go through it. Ask me if you have any doubts. Right? Okay. So this silence, you understood or you did not? I'm not able to make out. But
Sir,
anyway,
can you repeat this poison reverse again? Like you said, it triggers like if it is 16, we have to stop now, sir.
that's what it is telling, right? If this 50
Yeah.
is down, he's telling me, boss, 50 is down. That means 50 is 16. That means stop it. 50 is not there.
Yes,
He will tell
sir.
50 is not there.
I'm telling that we can fix that, or it is like
Machine will
it
do
can't.
automatically. When something goes
Okay.
wrong, it will automatically
Okay.
trigger an update with route poison.
Okay.
It triggers.
That number 16 is a fixed, or we can change.
You can
that?
change it. You can change.
Okay.
If you want, you can change anything.
Okay.
Default is that. Default is that. You don't need to change that. It's just default number. That's it. You can change it. Poisson reverse is sending in reverse direction also. That is disabling split horizon. And then, now see this, all of you, interesting, one more situation. 40 is down, correct? 40 is down. This is down. When this is down, it triggered it. Poisson. He deleted it. He triggered it. He deleted it. Right? It triggered it. He deleted. It triggered. He deleted. So that means he deleted. He is deleting. He just received the trigger. He is deleting. When he is deleting like this, he has to trigger now. Before he triggers, imagine he told me I have 40 network with 4 hops away. Interesting. This guy still doesn't know, he told him I have 40. Same situation. It's a big mesh. So now what happens? Till now, I think 40 is via serial 0. Serial 0, I received 40 is down. Serial 0, I received 40 is down. But S1, 40 is up. 4 hops. Then I'll tell this guy, right? He will think it is 5 hops. He will think it is 6 hops, 7 hops. Again, one direction I'll be cleaning, another direction it will be building. Back to the square one. Isn't it? My problem is same. So to avoid that, they added one more quality. What quality? They said hold down timer. Hold down timer. That means they said when this guy said it is down, right? This guy will delete it. When he tells you this is down, don't delete it. Hold it for some time. In the routing table, it says it is possibly down. Something happened, maybe. It's possibly down. Right? That is hold down. About 180 seconds. Hold down time. Right? It waits for 180 seconds. After that 180 seconds, right? So when during that time, if this guy tells, this is up. No, I'll not take it. It's like close your eyes and ears. Somebody said, hey, this happened. I know, yeah, let's wait. Because don't take hasty decisions like that. You know, somebody says up, you delete it. Somebody says, somebody says up, you add it. Somebody says down, you delete it. Then that's like, there's a lot of fluctuation in your routing table. You know, that uncertainty is pretty bad. So hold it. So when it is possibly down, any data comes, I will still send it. See if it is down or up, but I will just keep quiet. Then there is a flush time. Flushed after 240 seconds. So what happens now? It will wait for 180 and wait for another 60 seconds. So during that 180 seconds, if the route comes, I will learn, but I will not show it. But 240 seconds, between that 180 and 240, I don't learn anything. The 240 seconds, I'll flush it out. That means what? After 240 seconds, I'll just remove everything here. Then wait for the fresh route. Whether he gives or he gives, I don't care. I'll just wait for the fresh route. So when something goes wrong, immediately don't take an action. Hold it. Wait. Every adults will say, right? When you're in anger, you take a decision, then it will be a problem. So cool it down. Wait. Then take a decision. It's simple, like human beings. In anger, you react, then you react wrongly. Hold it. That's how it is. There is one more timer, invalid after. Invalid after. Invalid after. This invalid after is also 180 seconds. What is this timer is invalid after? This is like, when you receive that triggered update, what? Route poisoning. Route is down. Then you get into hold down timer. Now you did not receive anything, did not go wrong, nothing is wrong. But imagine you removed the routing table, you removed the network from here, you removed the protocol. Let's say you removed RIP or something. You removed RIP, or you removed RIP version 1 and you changed it with version 2, or let's say. Then what happens? I have version 1 route. Every 30 seconds I am receiving. 30 seconds over, 31st second, if I don't receive it. See, if somebody says network is down, that's a different story. Nobody saying anything, it suddenly disappeared. Then I'll go to invalid timer. Wait for 180. After 240, I'll flush it out. So basically, when everything is fine, routes will go in one direction. Right? When everything is fine, only thing that works is split horizon. Right? This one. 40 will go like this, 10 will go like this, everybody will work happily, everything is fine. But in a meshed topology, there will be problems. To avoid that, when all well, this is it. That's it. When something goes wrong, it will immediately, same thing, anything happens in your, everything is fine, you keep quiet. Happily life is going on. When something goes wrong in our life, we'll call our near and dear and tell them, hey, this happened to me. So immediately you trigger the update with route poisoning and also in poison reverse, so that that information will not come to you reverse. Wait for some time. The receiving router, what it will do, immediately won't take. See, this triggered update, route poisoning, poison reverse, initiated by the router where the problem happened. The receiving router, what it will do, it will also trigger it to the next guy, and then it will wait for that 180 seconds and then flush it. And if suddenly I stop receiving routes also, I'll wait for 180 seconds and I'll flush it. That's all it happens. Okay? Go through it. Go through it, I'll come in a second. So any doubts? So let's do the lab. So configuration is very simple, online configuration. I'll show you all these qualities. How much time we have? About 20 minutes, that should be good enough. So configuration wise, if you see this, I'll just show you the command. Version 2 I'll teach in the next class. So this I'll not do. You just have to say version 2. Version 1 we'll see first. This version 1 is default basically. There's no version 1 RIP default. So you say router RIP, see it goes to router. So we have seen IF interface. We have seen line. So you are at the interface, you are at the line. Now you're at the protocol. So you just have to specify the protocol and specify what networks are directly connected to you so that it can broadcast those networks. So simply specify the protocol, specify the network. So what it will do, it will send 10 network is 1 hop away. So it will send reverse 20 network is 1 hop away, right? Because it already knows 10 and 20. So this guy knows 20 and 30. So it will send 30. So 20 network is 1 hop away this side. 30 network is 1 hop away this side. So what happens now? So 10 will come here. He will learn 10 network via serial 0, 1 hop. He will learn it, 10 network. Then he will start sending 10 as 2 hops. Then 30 will come here. He will learn 30 network via serial 0, 1 hop. Then he will start sending 30 as 2 hops. So every 30 seconds, same story. Right? I learn from this guy, I'll give it to that guy. So I'll do the same diagram what we did yesterday. So we'll go to the same setup in the office. Right. I'll exactly do the same thing first. Configure terminal, host name R1, line console 0, login synchronous, interface Ethernet 0.
Screen, sir. Screen not.
Screen not
So
shared. Huh?
not
Okay. Sorry. I'm just giving IP addresses, don't worry about it. So yeah, I'm just giving IP addresses. No shutdown. IP address. You can see it now. 10.0.0.1.
Yes.
Interface serial 0. No shutdown. IP address 20.0.0.1. Right. Clock rate. So next class onwards, we don't use these routers. This is only, I think today I'll use it. 4, 5, 6. Next class onwards, I'll to use a router which is automatically takes its clock R1. Okay, I'll not give clock rate from next class on. This is just old router, couple of days for you to confirm, understand. See now, I gave this R1, R2 I'll go. Enable, configure terminal, host name, R2, main console 0, login synchronous, interface fast Ethernet 0/0, no shutdown, IP address 30.0.0.1, interface serial 0, no shutdown, IP address 20.0.0.2. So as usual, once let me take a pen to write there. Yes, my pen is here. I will write. So we will. This is the diagram. R1, R2, E0, 10.0.0.1, S0, 20.0.0.1, S0/0/0, 20.0.0.2, fast Ethernet 0/0, 30.0.0. This guy knows 10 and 20. This guy knows 20, 30. That is the first step. Now, if you see here, show IP route, beautiful. If I see here, Show IP route. Perfect. 10 is not shown here. Let's see what happened. So troubleshooting. So 10 is not showing in my routing table. First thing I want to see whether I configured everything on the interface. I configured everything on the interface. No shutdown is given. So it is administratively up. Protocol is down. Probably cable issue or something. Which, because I'm not sitting next to the router, Vaginnath will take care of it. See, there is a loose cable or something, physical layer. See, immediately you'll understand that because you gave no shutdown, it's still not working. So it came up. So there is some loose contact or something. He took care of it. It's fine. Right? So immediately that's how you start thinking. It's not showing first what happened, whether you configured properly or not. Then what next? What next? See, now this is fine. Yesterday we learned static routing. I'll show now one more time. IP route, you want to go to 30 network with 255, go to 20.0.0.2, right? Now if you see show IP route, show IP route. So this all of you. So as static route, I'll explain now in a different way. If you see yes, static route, right? 30 network. S is static, right? 1/0. Go via 20.0.0. This 1/0 is important. If it is RIP, it will be looking like this: 30 network, 120/1, go via 20.0.0. If it is OSPF, you will be learning O will be like this. If it is 30 network, 110/65, go via 20.0.0.2. If it is EIGRP, it will show it as D, right? 90/ some number will be there, 2192716, something like that. Go via 20.0.0. If it is BGP, it will be looking like this: 20/ something, go via 20.0.0.2. So I'm not going to teach you these two things, okay? Yeah. So now, what is this? Now, if I configure both, let's say if I configure static and RIP in my router, which one should work out of those two? Which one should work? If I configure both. Use simple common sense.
B.
Right? We configure both. Static is what you decided and you configured manually. Dynamic is what router decides it. So if somebody, you know, when you have a belief and somebody tells something, which one you prefer? Your own route. Okay? Because you believe, your belief, you decided it. You don't listen to other people, right? The same logic. Static means administrator manually configured it, dynamic routing. But how the router decides it? This router decides it based on this number. This number is called administrative distance. Administrative distance. Every protocol has its own distance, its own number, default number. You can change them. Static is 1, right? This can be anything between that 0 to 255, that number is. Lesser the number is better. Less is better. Lesser the distance, better the route. So between static and RIP, 120 and 1, static is better. Between 120 and 110, 110 is better. 110 and 90, 90 is better. Between 90 and 20, 20 is better. If two people are telling me, say you are sitting in high-tech city, two people, you want to go to Banjara Hills. If two people are telling you two different paths, right? One says go via Medipatnam, one says go via Panjagutta, then you decide, right? Based on who knows better. So that knows better is administrative distance. Lesser the distance, better the route. Is that clear? Right? If RIP tells me two paths, let's assume 30 network, 120/1, go via 20.0.0.2. If 30 network, 120/2, go via 20.0.0.2. Now this is administrative distance. Now the right side parameter is the metric. One is 1 hop, 2 is 2 hops. Here, EIGRP, OSPF, they have their own metric. This is based on bandwidth they calculate. This is based on something else they calculate. So when same protocol is telling me, so same guy is telling you, hey, you go via Medipatnam, this is what the criteria. If you go via Panjagutta, this is what the criteria. Then you decide which is better based on this parameter, metric, 1 hop and 2 hops. So 1 hop is better. Right? If the same RIP is telling me go via 20.0.0.2, right? 120/1, go via 20.0.0. So Panjagutta is closer. So I'm going via Panjagutta here, but it says, hey, same distance both of them are. So same protocol, same administrative distance, same metric. What will I do? I'll put both in the routing table. I will do something called equal cost multipathing. Right? Equal cost. So cost is equal. Everything is equal. So I'll send one packet this side, one packet this. I'll share it. Equal cost multipathing, they call it. Equal cost load balancing, they call it. Equal cost multipathing, equal cost load balancing. You can send it in both paths, right? So here the new words, what you learned is administrative distance and the metric. Metric here is hop count, same, right? Different protocols, best distance. Same protocol, distance is same, so best metric. Same protocol, same metric, put both in the routing table. I can put up to maximum 4 in my routing table by default. You can increase or decrease that number. Right? So that's why I configured again static here to make you understand that. Now, if I see this configure terminal, I'll remove the static route. Right? So this, I'll give debug IP routing. Yesterday we learned that, right? Routing table changes, debug IP routing. Then I configure the router. See router. So if I say show IP protocols, this is the command. Show commands are increasing now. Show IP protocol shows all the dynamic routing protocols. Now if you see router, put a question mark. See, you have these protocols. BGP, EGP is not there now. EIGRP is there. IGRP is not there now. It's old one. ISIS is there. So anyway, you're learning RIP. So too many things first time, it will be confusing. Let's see RIP. Network. So you tell which network you want to broadcast for. Network 10. Network. Specify that number, 20. Right, I'll go here to the other side. Configure terminal. Right, router. Put a question mark. So I have this. Here a less number of, so those EGP and the IGRP are not there here because they're gone. There's a new router. Network 20. See, the moment I enter 30 here, this guy will say, hey, I have 30 networks, split horizon, 20 it won't send, 30 it will send. So if I enter this and go to the other router, automatically you will learn it. So everything is fine. See, route added, 30 network, 8 via RIP metric, 120/1. This is exactly what it is. Show IP route. See that? R is RIP. Yesterday we have seen S static. R is RIP. 30 network, 120/1, go via 20.2. See this timer. Every 30 seconds I should get. When you get back-to-back connected, now it's back-to-back. It's about 27 seconds, 26 seconds when you get back-to-back. See this 21, it is showing there. Now 24, it is showing there. See, 2 seconds. Every 30 seconds I should get it. But back-to-back, that's because the serial interface connected back-to-back, it will be a little faster. I don't want to get into those details now. You don't need to worry about it. Debug IP, RIP, if I say. Now what is happening? So we'll see show IP protocols first. Show IP protocols. See this? Show IP protocols. See, sending updates every 30 seconds. See the beauty. Sending updates every 30 seconds. Sending a hold time invalid after 180, hold time value is this, flushed after 240, next during 18 seconds. Outgoing and incoming filters. There is something called route filters, which I'm not teaching you. Advanced level, again, postgraduate level, you can think like that. Redistributing RIP means I'm taking RIP, I'm giving RIP. I'm taking RIP, giving RIP. Advanced level, you can take RIP and send OSPF, take OSPF and send OSP. These are all at next level, NP level, CCNP level, and all, you learn them. Next level. Default version, say sending version 1, receive any version. It sent version 1, receives any version. That means version 2 I can receive, but I can't send. Right? And yeah, see this interface Ethernet 0, same point. Version 1 I can send, version 1 I can receive, version 2 I can receive, but I can't send it. We'll see that. Version 2 and next class I'll show you. See, routing for networks 10 and 20. Default administrative distance is 120. Right? So yeah, everything we discussed, you should know everything on the screen if you want to go to the next level. There is nothing that should be confusing to you at this point. Okay. Now, so this debug IP RIP. So whatever exactly I explained you, right? So debug IP RIP. So what it shows, debug IP RIP, right? This will show you this guy. We are doing it on this router, right? He's sending 10 as one hop, 20 as one hop, 30 as two hops. See this? I received version 1 update, right? It also shows you received 30 from this guy as one hop. See, received version 1 update, 30 network as one hop. So via my Ethernet 0, see my 10.1, my Ethernet 0, it clearly says via my Ethernet 0, my serial 0, it says 20.1. So this exactly, you can draw the diagram by looking at these messages. You can draw the diagram. Ethernet is this 10.1, serial is this 20.1. What am I sending? See this address, flooded broadcast, limited broadcast. You remember 255 to everyone. Sending update to this address, destination IP address is this. What am I sending? Right? 20 is one hop, 30 is two hops. Via Ethernet, 20 is one hop, 30 is two hops. Via serial, 10 is one hop. See that? That's what you learned. Clear? Exactly what you learned. Now, anything goes wrong. What happens now if anything goes wrong? Imagine this network is down. So 30 is one is sending. Now we'll send 30 as 16. So what I am receiving here, 30 network as one hop, I will start receiving it as 16 hops. This one. 16 hops, right? Then what happens in my routing table here? 30 network is now one hop via serial 0. It will show it as possibly down. But I'll not remove it. After 180 seconds, I'll wait. At 240, I'll delete this route. But every 30 seconds, he will be sending me as 16 hops inaccessible. And I will also be sending 30 as 16. And then a new route will come, poison reverse, 30 as 16. If you see, triggered update, you will see. Route poisoning, you will see. 16. Poison reverse, you will see. Everything I explained. Triggered update, route poisoning, poison reverse. Now, currently, when everything is fine, what you are looking at is split horizon. Why? 30 is coming like this, 10 is going like this. So this 10 is going via serial, 30 is received on serial. Now only when everything is fine, when everything is fine, it's only what? Split horizon. Are you guys there or lost?
Yes, sir.
Right? So what I'm going to do is I'll make this 30 down. Interface fast Ethernet 0/0. Interface Cost Ethernet 0/0. I'll shut it down. Simple. Just shut down. The moment I do this, see what happens here. The moment I do this, 30 network in 16 hops, inaccessible, triggered update with route poisoning and poison reverse. Via serial also I'm sending it. This is poison reverse. I'm sending via serial. Till now I was only receiving here. I'm sending now. So triggered update with route poisoning, entering into hold down timer. So triggered update, route poisoning, poison reverse, hold down timer, all the qualities. All of them happens at the same, sorry. All of them happens at the same time. Now if I see here now, right? Show IP route. So all these things, when you do the lab, you should enjoy it. So this show IP route, 30 network, see possibly down. It says possibly down. I'm receiving an accessible message. I'm sending a poison reverse, right? 240 seconds. We can wait till it deletes it. We can see the timer also. I'll show you. So this show IP route for 30 network. So this hold down timer expires in 104 seconds. Hold down timer, this expires in another 104 seconds. Right? So that means 180 seconds, more than a minute is over already. Right? But this guy says possibly down. Possibly down. Right? It's in 71 seconds. Right? So it's 1 o'clock, but another 3-4 minutes, it's fine. See that? 35 seconds. Possibly down. It's 23 seconds. $14 seconds. 9, 5, 2, gone. But if I see show IP route, 180 is over, another 60 seconds are pending, then only it will flush it out. That's what I want you to understand. Hold down and flush it out. Right? Now it says garbage collecting entry. Once the time is over, it says garbage collecting entry for 30 network. 30 is garbage details. So next broadcast, it should flush it. So this garbage collecting entry for 30. 30 is gone. It stopped sending 30. Now only 10 and 20. Right? Okay. See? 10 and 20. Simple. We say no shutdown. Immediately it will come. See? I got it back. So I'll show you one interesting thing. Say this. I'll say shutdown again. I'll get my triggered update again. See, inaccessible, right? Hold on timer, poison reverse, triggered update. It says possibly down. I'll say no shutdown. Okay. Something happened. I'm in trouble, right? And then see this. I got inaccessible and I got normal message also. Now let's ping and see. Ping 30.0.0.1. I'm pinging. It's up. But if I say show IP route, possibly down. That's what hold down timer is. If something happens, whether it comes up or goes down, don't bother. Just don't hear. Patience when you are angry. Patience when you have a problem. Patience when you have a stress. Don't take a hasty decision. Right? That's what it is. Right? Next, this procedure, it will follow for next 240 seconds. I can clear it. Clear IP route star. If I say, it will create all the routing table entries. See, 10, 20, 30, everything is fresh now. Right? So if I give static route now, IP route, if at all you want to go to 30 network with 255, go to 20.0.0.2. See, because of debug IP routing, you can see that. See, because of closer administrative distance for 30, I'm flushing one route and adding. Because it is 120/1, this is 1/, this is what I explained, 120 and 1 between static and this. Static came to my routing table. Right? That's the order of precedence. If I remove this static route, RIP will come. I say show IP route. See, RIP did not come immediately. I say show IP protocols. See, RIP came now. Because RIP comes when the time comes. That is one interesting thing you need to know. In an interview, it will be useful. If I have a static route, right, RIP will go. If I have no static route, RIP is supposed to come. But it comes every 30 seconds. So that means if in a bank or a stock market, I'm just telling you the scenarios. If that lag comes, if you go to an advanced level and you configure routing, one protocol goes, other one comes, or one goes down, other one, you created a load balance or you created a failover, and how much time that failover is taking. Here, if it is 30 seconds, if it takes, man, in a critical industry, 30 seconds, they'll take you out of the job. Are you understanding things are getting serious now? Are you there, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll stop it here this week. I think too much of knowledge. Tomorrow, he will show you the lab. Okay. Of PPP. Tomorrow is Thursday, right? Or Wednesday?
Yes, Thursday.
Thursday. So yeah, as usual, tomorrow you join. He will show you the lab of PPP. Yesterday I showed you, right? I explained you the concept. So authentication and all. I'll ask him to upload this to YouTube, today's class. I mean, dynamic routing, RIP. Anyway, it's been a long time. I also taught it. I think I recorded it. Let me check. If I recorded it, it'll upload it to you, YouTube. You can redo this class whenever you want. Okay. He'll do it probably by tomorrow sometime. Okay. So go through it, because this is the fundamental for your routing, for anyone for that matter. Then I'll upload it. Any student can actually see it, and because this is the base for the dynamic routing. So yeah, I think we'll do it. I think class came well, right? So let's see. But everybody will think, man, all my Hyderabad examples I've given now sitting in Bangalore. Okay. Shalom. See you guys. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow, the PPP and any doubts related to this, you consolidate with them. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Shalom. See you.